Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
As a senior data steward at OmniCorp, a sprawling tech company, my job largely involved ensuring that our vast digital archives were kept in order, accessible, and compliant. It wasn't glamorous, but it was crucial. Then Stephen arrived, fresh out of a consultancy firm, brimming with buzzwords and an almost pathological aversion to unnecessary costs. He was our new head of data operations, and he was going to optimize everything. His first major initiative was the Project Data Purge Protocol. Stephen declared we were wasting millions on primary server storage for bloat, old project data that was no longer actively used. His solution was a mandatory automated process. Delete all project data from primary storage for any project marked archived that has no associated active client interface records after 90 days. He stressed that efficiency was key and that we were to use the basic script he had commissioned, strictly avoiding any redundant manual checks or cross-referencing. I, along with my team, raised concerns. What about internal R&D hooks? What about legacy system dependencies that didn't involve an active client interface? What about data required for intellectual property defense, even if the project was archived? Stephen waved off our worries. The protocol is clear, he'd said. If it meets the 2 criteria, it's purged. Any deviation is inefficiency. He even issued a company-wide memo, signed by him, mandating strict adherence. So I complied. To the letter. I had my team run Stephen's script, identifying projects marked archived with no active client interface records. For every single deletion, I personally ensured that detailed logs were kept, the project ID, the date of purge, and crucially, the exact criteria that triggered the deletion as per Stephen's protocol. My internal reports frequently noted, purge executed per PDP protocol, project XYZ meets criteria, archived and no active client interface, potential internal dependencies unverified as per protocol instructions. I even sent weekly email summaries to Stephen, reiterating the project's purged and the governing rules. He'd typically reply with a terse, noted, "Keep up the efficiency." For nearly 6 months, things were quiet. Then, the storm hit. OmniCorp was slapped with a massive patent infringement lawsuit, threatening to cost us hundreds of millions. The legal team immediately demanded all historical development data, design iterations, and internal communications related to Project Phoenix, an archived project from 3 years prior. The kind of data that might prove our prior art and save the company. I remembered Project Phoenix. It had met Stephen's archived and no active client interface criteria. It was gone. Stephen was incandescent. He stormed into my office, demanding to know why such critical data was purged. I calmly pulled up my meticulously kept records, the weekly reports, the signed memo from him, the purge logs, all showing that Project Phoenix, like hundreds of others, had been deleted precisely according to his Project Data Purge Protocol. I even had notes from our initial meetings, where I had specifically warned about the exact type of data dependency that led to this crisis, only to have my concerns dismissed as overthinking. The look on his face, as he realized he had meticulously engineered his own downfall, was priceless. The legal team and ultimately senior management pored over my documentation. It was irrefutable. I had followed every instruction, every criteria, every limitation of his protocol. The flaw wasn't in my execution, but in Stephen's poorly conceived, blindly efficient, and ultimately catastrophic rule. The cost savings he'd proudly touted were now dwarfed by potential legal losses and the damage to our corporate reputation. Stephen was stripped of his responsibilities within weeks, quietly resigning to pursue other opportunities shortly thereafter. I, on the other hand, was quietly promoted and tasked with leading the development of a truly comprehensive data retention policy. Sometimes, the most literal interpretation is the most effective form of justice. Turns out, blindly following instructions can be incredibly clarifying. For everyone but the instruction giver, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it, exactly as you asked.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.